as a nation of celebrating our 60th anniversary of independence. Father, many have fought for us to have the privilege to enjoy such a celebration. We recognize their hard work and effort. Father, today we want to give you thanks for the partnership between Tiger Tanks Limited and the St. Patrick Education District to ensure, dear God, that this 60th anniversary celebration and competition took place. We ask your blessing upon our stakeholders. We ask your blessing upon the leaders of the St. Patrick Education District. We ask your blessing upon all our schools, our principals, our teachers, and our students. We ask, dear God, that we will continue to work together cooperatively to ensure, dear God, that the goals of the Ministry of Education come to fruition. We commit today's proceedings into your hands, and we ask, dear God, that at the end of it, truly each one of us would say what a blessing and a privilege it was to be here and to interact one with the other. This is our prayer with thanksgiving. In your holy name, amen.
Kindly be seated. We listen to a safety briefing at this time. School Supervisor 3, St. Patrick Education District, Mr. Edwin Ramsaran. School Supervisor 2, Mr. Anthony Ramjet. School Supervisors 1, Mr. Ian Ramlal and Miss Jacqueline Warner-Murphy. Business Development Personnel, Tiger Tanks, Trinidad. Miss Nicole Rivero and Miss Naviela Ramdas, Mrs. Trudy Mostelier, Acting Dean, Naparima College, our distinguished judges, Mr. Walid Bach, Miss Linda Belmontes, and in absentia, Miss Arlette Williams, media representatives, principals, teachers, parents, and students. Good morning. I am Zanifa Mohammed, School Supervisor 1, St. Patrick Education District, and I heartily welcome you all to the St. Patrick Education District's prize-giving ceremony for our special project, I Love My Country competition, which was held to commemorate our nation's 60th anniversary of independence. This is an occasion of joy for all of us as we come together for celebrating. I know this day contains a special sort of excitement or exciting buzz for all of us, principals, students, teachers, and parents alike. All the arduous work and efforts that you would have put in the months of September and October will now be recognized and rewarded with presents for yourselves and for your schools. I am sure most of us are familiar with the emotions that go with a prize-giving ceremony such as this one today. But before that, I have been told by the organizers that I am to deliver a short message to you all on this auspicious occasion as my opening remarks. When I was given this task, I probably thought about it 100 times or more. What would I say to you all? Too many thoughts, sometimes too confusing. The most obvious thing, however, was to talk about prize giving, which is simply to deliver the prizes to the recipients. But my dear audience, that's not all. Our district prides itself in not following the convention. And permit me at this time to explain my own feelings about prizes and why should they be given. Many may think that there is no answer to this question. A person wins a prize, yes, for coming first, probably for coming second, for coming third. So conventional and predictive. But that's not all. It's not completely right. Giving away prizes to individuals is of extreme and special importance. It helps in our goal to achieve excellence. It's a motivation for ourselves and each other. A prize or an award helps set a precedent and a benchmark. Excellence can never be achieved without some degree of friendly competition. To motivate everyone in the game, we give away prizes to the ones who are a little better ahead of the others. This encourages a hunger for success. When we see that something that we feel is unachievable has been achieved by someone else, it makes it a little easier for us. Just like a great personality once said, the only constraints to human achievement are the walls built by our own selves. We fear to go the path not taken. It is in the human DNA for survival that makes us weak to take that path, which is less risky. But we can never be unique individuals who will make a mark in human history and society if we do not venture and take occasional risk. A few of us would be called on stage to receive trophies, and some of us probably will not. But do not break your hearts, my dear little ones. The trophy that you see your friend receiving today is a motivation for you to achieve at our next prize giving for our next year's special project. Participation is, after all, what is most important, and not just winning. But when you do not win, you are one step closer to success, surely. When you win after numerous experiences of failure, you can at least be certain that it was not by any luck and chance. This is a time to give a special mention to our teachers who teach you, our students, shaping the future of our country and making you honorable citizens of our society. Besides our parents, my dear children, They are probably the only ones who would root for a successful future and a fantastic life ahead for each one of you. Now, let me talk to the people who will be getting prizes today. All you winners out there, listen to me carefully. It is especially important to you to know what to do when you win and when you do not win. Be graceful when you win. Most of you know that we must not lose heart and strive to achieve excellence each time around. To all the winners, that is all of you, congratulations, and continue to make your parents, teachers, schools, district, and our country proud. I now invite you all to sit back, relax, and enjoy the program as it unfolds. Our dear Mr. Anthony Ramjit, School Supervisor 2. He will be sharing with us the district's rationale for such a special project and the overview of this project, I Love My Country competition. Mr. Ramjit.
School Supervisor 3, St. Patrick Education District, our own Mr. Edwin Ramsaran, will also be representing the Chief Education Officer and the Director of School Supervision today at this activity. My other colleagues in School Supervision, of course our dear Chairperson, Mrs. Zanifa Mohammed, Mr. Ian Ramlal and Ms. Jacqueline Warner-Murphy. Development Personnel Tiger Tanks, Ms. Nicole Riviero and Ms. Niviela Ramdas. Ms. Trudy, Acting Dean of Naparima College. Our distinguished judges, Mr. Bash, National Award winner, and Ms. Belmontes, Ms. Williams, members of the district management team of the St. Patrick Education District, media representatives, principals, teachers, parents, and students. If you were asked the question, what is to be an independent nation, or what criteria involves an independent nation, any student here could answer. This is my district, and I pride myself in the students knowing all the answers to all the things. All right, so you're a little shy, but you know the answer. Any independent nation, my dear friends, has three basic things. One, you have territorial boundaries. Two, you have a population. And three, you have self-governance. That is to say that we govern our own affairs. Nations have fought for independence. Nations like the United States of America fought a war to become an independent nation. We didn't have to fight a war to become an independent nation in 1962 on the 31st of August. But through the shrewd management of Dr. Eric Williams and others, we were able to achieve independence. And we said to Britain at that time that we can take care of our own affairs. That is something we must know. And we must translate that into our own lives as to what does independence mean to us? And if we are independent as individuals in an independent society, that's important questions we must ask. And it's the same kind of translation that will go into being an independent person. You must have boundaries, territorial boundaries. You must have as well the ability to think on your own and govern your own affairs. And of course, you must have personnel around you. What does it mean to you, the students, to be independent in Trinidad and Tobago? I will tell you this, that with independence comes responsibility, because at one time, as an 8-year-old, and that's way back, I had to think way back, I used to think independence was taking off my clothes and going in the rain, yeah, and standing up and catching the raindrops with my mouth. Yes, yeah, I know some of my students will shake their heads. That's a little bit of freedom, and independence has freedom with it. But it's more than that. There's responsibility. I shouldn't be taking off my clothes in the public. Yeah? I shouldn't be going in the rain when my mother says differently that I will get sick. And I'm saying these things to you because we must understand that with independence comes certain responsibilities. And we have to have, and we must know that. So at your school, when it is said that you have a responsibility to do your work, you have a responsibility to do your home lesson, you have a responsibility to ensure that your school environment is clean and to take care of your school buildings. You know, we opened a brand new state-of-the-art facility at Fanny Village on Monday. If you see that lovely school, I have to take the principals down there one of these days to see that. And I promised on their behalf, the Honorable Minister, that we are going to keep that school as looking as brand new like as it was on Monday for a long time to come. And that's independence. So I'm saying that to say to you all that we must understand what independence means. And independence doesn't mean standing in the rain, naked and catching water. It means that we must accept responsibility. And we have accepted responsibility for being an independent nation. And then, of course, we moved from independence in 1962 to republicanism in 1976, right? And we removed the Queen then as head of state to the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago as head of state. And we now have what is called the Republican Constitution. And in the preamble of that Republican Constitution, it says, "In God we trust." I want you to remember that. In the preamble of that Constitution, if you forget everything, it says there, "In God we trust." We know that there are some atheists and so on. But in our Constitution, in the preamble of the Constitution, it says, "In God we trust." I just wanted to say that to you, for you to understand, or to remind you, because I am sure your principals and your teachers would have taught you that, and every opportunity you get to learn, you should take it. And to do really what I was asked to do here today is to tell you about this project. Sorry. The St. Patrick Education District Management Team, which comprises of school supervisors and principals, annually undertakes a project that involves the 61 primary schools and the 14 secondary schools in our district. Of course, over the last 2 years, during the height of the pandemic, we could not have had this special project for obvious reasons. This academic year, in the celebration of the 60th anniversary of independence of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and subsequently the 46th anniversary of the Republican status, the project that we decided to undertake was that of a competition which brings a stark reality to what independence is. I love my country. The project was sponsored by Tiger Tanks Trinidad Unlimited, referred to as Triple TU, TTTU, a company formed back in October 2003 in our district, and which is the largest supplier of logistic cargo carrying equipment in the Caribbean region, as well as manufacturers of their own equipment. The aim, and I think this is very important, of this project was to use the thematic approach to teaching curriculum content, social studies, English language, visual and performing arts at the primary and secondary school levels to bring home that theme, to also empower school fraternities and by extension communities to nurture a national identity, to promote patriotism and environmental conservation as a means to achieve national unity and development, to develop students' visual literacy, aesthetic awareness as they manipulate and transform visual, tactile, and spatial ideas through the exploration of experiences, stories, abstract concepts, social issues, and needs, both individually and collaboratively. And of course, this project, when we started back in 2017, was to bring the entire education fraternity of St. Patrick together, both primary and secondary schools. This year's project undertook the form of the competition, as I said before, and Mrs. Mohammed would have emphasized, I love my country. Under the theme, I love my country, the visual arts category, both primary and secondary schools participated in creating school environments to demonstrate national pride, patriotism, and love for Trinidad and Tobago, using local content. At the primary level, in the poetry category, students in all 61 primary schools composed poems under the theme, I love my country. And I must say that there were some exceptional pieces that came forward that your judges will tell you about shortly. Congratulations to all the students who have participated. I am not aware of the results as yet, just as you. At the secondary school level, the poetry was replaced by the spoken word category. And congratulations to all the secondary school students who participated. We look forward to the winners today taking pride of place, and I'm sure you are waiting for that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this really was a truly remarkable activity as far as your school supervisor is concerned, as far as school supervision is concerned. The school supervisors were delighted to be associated with this activity, which marked the Diamond Jubilee of our nation's independence. And I will tell you that this morning I received a call from another school supervisor in another district saying, obviously envious of what we are doing. Congratulations on the activity. I don't know how that lady knew what we were doing. But that is to say that you are envy of some people. And that is to say that you are doing something good. I want to place on record, and the school supervisors want to place on record, our gratitude to the district management team. And I know the vote of thanks will come shortly. But I, as your school supervisor too, would really like to thank the district management team who were really the drivers of this project, as well as that committee that was set up to look after the closing ceremony. I know it was a trying time to get everything together in such a short space of time. Every project must have a project manager and a project driver. And I want to especially thank our project driver, the driver of drivers, Mrs. Hanifa Mohammed, our SS1. I think without whom this project would not have been the success that it turned out to be. So a huge thank you to you, Miss. Huge thank you to our sponsor, without whom this could not have been afforded. And the prizes that you are to receive, hefty prizes, I will tell you, when you see the checks. couldn't be made possible without Tiger Tanks, and it's the second time that Tiger Tanks is sponsoring a project. They sponsor the water conservation project, and we are really grateful, Ms. Ramdas, Ms. Rivero. Please extend to Mr. Latif our gratitude, and not only on our behalf here. You are now the national sponsor for football in the country and for other things, and I'm sure if the Honorable Minister was here, she would have wanted to say thank you. I know that she already spoke to Mr. Latif and they, but certainly on behalf of the Ministry of Education, and I am sure when my SS3 speaks, he will emphasize that a gratitude for your sponsorship once again. You are truly understanding what investment in education is really about. It's about nation building, what we are doing here. Thank you as well to my colleagues, the school supervisors, Mr. Ramsaran, Mr. Ramlal, Mrs. Murphy, the others, and Mrs. Murphy would have been there in initial stages and guiding alongside Mrs. Mohammed, putting all the guidelines together and so on. Thank you, Mrs. Murphy, and all the other supervisors. Thank you, judges, for the work well done. And thank you to my foot soldiers. I can't forget them at the district office. Alice and Savian, they're here, right? They're there. And their OJTs at the office, I want to remind you. Thank all of you students who participated and the teachers who would have been driving the activity at your school, and congratulations again to all the winners. Congratulations to all of you, and of course, may God continue to bless you, and may God continue to bless Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
At this time, I will invite Tiger Tanks Trinidad Limited. Okay, we'll try that again. In any program. Testing. Sounds good there? Easy on your ears? Lovely. So at this point in our program, we wish to invite greetings from very important stakeholders. Firstly, we will begin with Ms. Rivero, representing Tiger Tanks Trinidad, followed by our very own SS3, Mr. Ramsaran. But this morning, he will be bringing greetings from the Ministry of Education, representing our Chief Education Officer and our Director of School Supervision and Management. We begin with Tiger Tanks Trinidad, Ms. Rivero.
pleasant good morning to the School Supervisor 3, St. Patrick Education District, Mr. Edwin Ramsaran, School Supervisor 2, Mr. Anthony Ramjet, School Supervisor 1, Mr. Ian Ramlal, and Ms. Jacqueline Warner Murphy. I would also like to thank the persons up on stage with me, and again, welcome parents, students. It is such a lovely experience to be here and see the smiles on you guys' faces. So again, thank you for having Tiger Tanks here. My name is Nicole Rivero, and here with me I have Ms. Novila Ramdas, and we are both representing Tiger Tanks Trinidad Unlimited on behalf of our General Manager, Mr. Dennis Latif, who unfortunately could not be with us here today due to prior work commitments. But nevertheless, we are extremely proud to be a sponsor for this competition. In that same breath, I would just like to inform you all that we are being streamed live right now on TV 360, as well as on the Tiger Tanks International YouTube page, and as well as our Tiger Tanks Trinidad Facebook page. Today we are honored to stand here in front of these brilliant students to acknowledge their achievements, who have made both their respective school and their parents proud. I Love My Country competition is held to recognize the young talents who have made a monumental contribution to their school and the society. The participants have exhibited great talents and qualities, which will not only assist them in achieving their goals, but also bring the glory of success to their school. As we gather here to celebrate the achievements of these students, we also must give due regard to our country's values and morals, which these awardees have clearly exemplified. And this is in keeping with our watchwords: discipline, production, and tolerance. I believe award ceremonies are an awesome way to encourage and to reward their exemplary behavior and inculcate competitive spirit. I mean, who doesn't like to win? Anybody in here like to win? Yeah, I know I do. I know I like to receive prizes. So, this is the reason why our company decided to sponsor such a venture. We acknowledge the importance of hard work and perseverance, but also we encourage students to tap into those hidden talents and express their creativity and be their true authentic self. The theme this year was centered around the celebration of 60 years as an independent nation, as well as 56 years being a republic. We trust that working on these pieces would have ignited that love and that pride and that passion for our country. One of the objectives of this competition is to promote patriotism and environmental awareness to achieve national unity and development. And I must say, that objective was surely accomplished. Our company has always supported students, and we believe in a healthy and fair competitive environment to help them grow in every sphere of activity, be it in academics, visual arts, poetry, sports, or any other extracurricular activity, you name it. We at Tiger Tanks, we love to support the nation youths. We believe in equal opportunities to all students to help them realize their true potential and to assist, equip, and guide them with the tools necessary to face the world once they complete their studies. I must say we are very pleased to see such an active participation from the students within the St. Patrick Education District as they excel in their respective area of interest. Again, on behalf of Tiger Tanks, I would like to thank you all for having us here, and again, congratulations to all the awardees. Thank you.
Esteemed Chairperson, Ms. Zanifa Mohammed, School Supervisor 1, School Supervisor 2, Mr. Anthony Ramjet, School Supervisors 1, Mr. Ian Ramlal, Ms. Jacqueline Warner Murphy, members of the District Management Team, Business Development Personnel at Tiger Tanks, Ms. Nicole Rivero and Ms. Novella Ramdas, Mrs. Sturdy Mustelia, Acting Dean, Naparima College, who is representing the principal at our function, our distinguished judges, Mr. Bash, Ms. Belmontes, and Ms. Williams, media representatives, principals, teachers, parents, and students. It is indeed my pleasure to bring greetings to you on behalf of the Ministry of Education and the St. Patrick Education District. At our prize-giving function in commemoration of 60 years of independence of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, this truly is a milestone for our country. I was at the head office this morning in Port of Spain, and both the Chief Education Officer and Director of School Supervision expressed that they wish they could have been here today, but of course they were involved in meetings even at that early hour. So they extend all courtesies, right, for their absence. This event is a culmination of the efforts of school supervisors, teachers, students, our district management team, right, and it is the I Love My Country competition. Here we celebrate our students' achievement in spoken word, poetry, and visual arts. We will also be treated to the singing of national songs, another demonstration of the talents of the students in the St. Patrick Education District. We believe that it's important to promote patriotism among all members of society, but more specifically, we focus on the youths of Trinidad and Tobago. Indeed, through patriotism, we become a stronger nation. Through partnership with Tiger Tanks Trinidad Unlimited, we continue to provide opportunities for our children to participate in meaningful activities and build their skills, talents, and confidence. We value this partnership tremendously and anticipate continued collaboration through promotion of these most meaningful and valuable activities for our children. Through healthy competition, students receive the push to reach their full potential. Through competition, we discover our skills, talents, and develop attitudes which we'll take throughout our lifetime. Thank you, Tiger Tanks Unlimited, for allowing us these opportunities for our children. To our young people, continue to strive and be the best. We continue to support your efforts. The sky is the limit. You, like the St. Patrick Education District, are simply the best. Thank you very much, and have a great day, everyone.
Ms. Rivero, Mr. Ramsaran, I thank you sincerely for those greetings, those words of encouragement and support for the initiatives of the St. Patrick Education District. Students, I would like you to stand for a moment. I know you would have been sitting, we have been talking for a little while. Just glance across at your schoolmates around you from the various schools. Okay, so I ask you to do that. I want you to understand how very special and blessed you are this morning. Our district, by mere logistics, would not have been able to host the thousands of students in both our primary and secondary schools. Those who would have participated in this I Love My Country competition. So, we were forced to focus on those 10 schools that made it to the finals of the competition. You are representatives of those finalists. So give yourselves a clap, and adults join. So understand that you are special all the time, but especially this morning. So sit, please. So we need to change the tone a little bit. We have been listening to some speeches. Now we want to enjoy a cultural item. This cultural item comes from a student of the Point Fortin Roman Catholic Primary School. It's a student by the name of Zayden Darius, a second-year student. He is going to render a calypso for us this morning. So I welcome Zayden. And I also welcome a special surprise, Jaron Fortune, Standard 4.14 RC, Shad Rodriguez, and Kioma Thompson, Standard 5 and Standard 2 respectively. They are supposed to be joining him not on stage, but somewhere in the audience, I am told. So, my dear Zayden, take it away, take it away.
I love the fete and the bacchanal, the calypso and the carnival in my country. I love to hear the sweet harmony, the band singing like a symphony in my land. I love the air of serenity, the lovely people and scenery of my nation. I love the jokes and become every other man's simple song. As only a true Trini will understand. Yeah, I love my country. I love my land. I love my society. I love my nation. As a patriotic Trini, I love you with hostility. Any move to come between me and my country. The happy sound of the pickle plat lifts my spirit and warm my heart in my country. The brilliant sunrise over the hill reminds me of the master's will in my land. The hidden talents among the crowd give me good reasons to be proud of my nation. The joy and the camaraderie that pervades the community, as only a true Trini will understand. Yeah, I love my country. I love my land. I love my society. I love my nation. As a patriotic Trini, I review with hostility. For me, the greatest fun in the world is the climb of a greasy pole in my country. The circus actor noted a show can entertain as a galimbo in my land. The recipe or the legacy could be the pale one of my nation. And when I put up a kite, I just about shedding light as only a children will understand. Yeah, I love my country. I love my land. I love my society. I love my nation. As a patriotic journey, I love you with hostility. Any move to come between me and my country. I love the Puarun Kalalu, the Maniku and the Kaskaru in my country. I love the Tata Jamalaji, lights in the air for Diwali in my land. I love the moods and the attitudes, the tasty foods and the super dudes of my nation. And wherever I may roam, one good day will come back home, as only a children will understand. Yeah, I love my country. I love my land. I love my society. I love my nation. As a patriotic journey, I love you with hostility. Any move to come between me and my country. Thank you very much.
I don't think I have to ask you to stand. I didn't think so. Come on. That's our young people, our children, our students. Zayden, take another bow, my young man. Jaron, let's see. Jaron. Shad. And Kioma. Lovely. Thank you very much. The gentleman you see in that pink there, that's a parent, and he is taking them around. And we first met them at the school. Beautiful. And I thought to myself, we must have them for our prize giving. I know we have expression of appreciation later on, but I really have to say thank you to the parent, the students, and the principal of Point Fortin RC. Thank you very much. So we come one item before the distribution of some of our prizes. Judges' remarks. But before I invite one of the representatives of that group of individuals who had a very difficult task, looking at the poetry pieces, visiting schools, I think we would have had a compact 2 days of visitation. Yes, I took them across St. Patrick. And one thing I remember Ms. Williams saying and Ms. Belmontes endorsing, they were glad that I was driving them around because to find some of the schools would have been a task for them. So let me share some information, brief, about each of our judges. Mr. Walid Baksh, you see to my extreme right, a graduate of this fine institution, Naparima College, and the University of the West Indies in Administration and Drama. retired teacher of 38 years, TML Primary School being his last. Poet, playwright, director. He has staged at least 3 plays nationwide. 3 plays which I would have had the privilege of seeing both in front of the stage and backstage. National Judge of Carnival, Best Village, and many other cultural activities. And most recently, recipient of the Hummingbird Silver National Award for Education, Culture, and Community Development. Mrs. Linda Belmontes spent over 40 years in the teaching service, retired as principal of St. Gabriel Girls Primary RC School, She served as a judge at Children's Carnival and numerous arts festival competitions for quite a number of years. Currently, she does community service in Our Lady of Perpetual Help RC Church. Ms. Belmontes. Ms. Arlette Williams, a first-generation entrepreneur and founder of Outright Concepts Limited, a public relations and communications strategy company. She is a PR and communications consultant and coach, motivational speaker, and an experienced researcher, an advocate for and contributed to the development of staff welfare and employee engagement programs. She would have also served as an executive member, performer, publicist, and youth mentor to 2 NGOs. She holds an international master's degree in business development and innovation, a bachelor in mass communications, and an associate degree in journalism and public relations. Currently, she is the marketing and media manager of Boca's Lit Fest, which we are very familiar with at our primary and secondary schools. Some of her clients include PAHO, Ministry of Health, Trinidad and Tobago Non-Communicable Diseases Alliance, Pan American Development Foundation. Her life quote, "Not for ourselves are we born." And finally, but by no means least, our very own SS1, Ms. Jacqueline Warner Murphy. She has been an educator for over 30 years and has served in 5 education districts, a holder of a Bachelor and Master of Education. She was also a part-time lecturer at the University of the West Indies for 5 years. A gifted poet. Some of us principals and colleagues will know from her presentations to us in conferences. A playwright as well, who seeks to bring issues of a sensitive nature to light. She loves reading, is an avid table tennis player. Her personal credo, "You are what you repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." Ms. Warner Murphy. So we were led by very competent judges, and our winners, all of you, would have been selected by this panel of individuals. We have some remarks from those judges, and their representative this morning is Ms. Williams, so she'll make a few brief comments about their observations throughout the competition. Ms. Williams.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, students. Congratulations to all of you. Without the mask, I probably might make out some of you, right? But with the mask, I'm not sure if I remember any of your faces. But what I do remember is that I would have initially been on the background of Sandfest. For some of you who don't know, I was actually on the executive of the San Fernando Arts Council when Sandfest was happening a couple of years ago. And I would have been on the other end, seeing the results come in, seeing the judges come in, organizing for the schools to get their forms to fill out for them to do their pieces, for us to have their pieces judged. So this was the first year that I was actually a judge instead of being the person on the back end. And I got to understand what the process was like, seeing what these young people put there for us to critique, to admire, to be inspired by. I just want to say that creativity is not as easy as people think that it is. For some of us, it's innate. Some of you grow up and you just know that you're creative and your parents give you the ability to dabble, or you see friends and you're able to play and then things come to mind and we tell stories and we write poetry and all of these things. And for some of us, we need a little bit of motivation, and that's where your teachers come in and competitions like this come in, where you are able to dig deeper, to search, to be guided by, and then to execute that guidance and information that you're given. There were three things that stood out to me when we were judging the pieces. The pieces appealed to the eyes, the mind, and the heart. And for the visual arts, you know, we have this saying, the eyes are the window to the soul. In looking upon these pieces that you all pulled together with reusable material and just your creativity and the national colors and what you believe about our country and the patriotism that you wanted to put forth, we were able to see that interpreted in such interesting ways, with interesting material that we may not have thought ourselves to put together. And to put that on a display that was so clean, so easy to interpret, so easy to even navigate and figure out how much effort was put into it. I want to congratulate all of you children, every single one of you. For the poetry, that, you know, there are no visuals, we don't see colors, but you all painted stories that came from a place of patriotism at a young age that is to be admired. It came from a place of understanding your place in society, even as little as you are, and understanding that you have a voice, and having the courage to write your thoughts on a paper, to forget the rubric, to just even speak about our nation, Trinidad and Tobago. You should be honored to have the privilege of doing so. For people like me to see that our young generation is not lost, that we have people that believe in our country, the direction of our country, the evolution of our country. So I want to congratulate those who wrote poetry as well for your endeavors and for entering the competition. Now, Ms. Mohammed did mention that I am with Bocas Lit Fest. We recently completed the First Citizens National Poetry Slam competition, which, of course, you know, is just spoken word at the highest peak, with the biggest prize in the world for a spoken word competition. And for those of you who know about it and don't know about it, it's not rap, all right? This is taking what goes into the eyes and what goes into the mind and personifying it to embody those words that would have been black and white in this piece that's now supposed to resonate with your heart on a deeper level. If you understand how important spoken word is, it could be likened unto rhapsody or calypso. It encapsulates history, a social issue, a personal issue, and it brings it to life for someone else to consume, to view, and to think about. It's painting those visuals in words, and it's writing those visuals on paper and having it marinate into your soul so much that when you give that over to the people who consume it, you aren't only affecting them, but you are becoming even more vulnerable and taking away pieces of yourself and giving it away for others to appreciate. Each one of these creative types of expressions take a level of vulnerability and courage. And for those who didn't make it, they still went the course, they stayed the course, and they did what was necessary for us to say that we acknowledge that they did something. But for those of you who made it to the finals, you had that extra oomph that made us sit and think and say, wow, you may not be teenagers yet, you may not be adults yet, but we're definitely starting from a wonderful foundation and a solid place if this is what the future of Trinidad and Tobago holds. And while you may think that it was just a little display that you would now have to dismount, or a piece of paper that you wrote poetry on that you thought about and you gave up, or a spoken word piece that you performed, do know that you put it out there into the universe, and now a part of you has been immortalized, and you have started to create your legacy as young as you are. So on behalf of the judges, and I do hope that I represented each one of you in what I said to the young people today, do know that what you did to get to this place was awesome, it was magnificent, it was appreciated, and you are blessed. Do have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, judges, and especially Ms. Williams for sharing the thoughts of the panel. So, we have come to a point that is greatly anticipated. The first segment of prize distribution. And we'll take our time here because it's center stage for our students, okay? I would also like to give time for my helpers, Ms. Warner Murphy and Mrs. Nanlal, Principal, Penal Press. And I will now be putting members of the head table on alert to present prizes. We will begin with spoken word secondary. And the lone position, first place, Faizabad Anglican Secondary, Ashley Patrick. Form 2, I invite you. Ms. Rivero, would you? So the student of that school will be receiving a trophy, and the principal will be receiving a check. So I should have invited the principal as well. Don't leave yet, Ashley. Spoken word, Ashley Patrick, first place. So in this particular category, as well as the poetry, yes, center stage please. As I was saying, in this category, the individual student will be receiving a trophy, and the school will be receiving a check in the value of $1,500. Thank you. Now we move to the poetry category. Spoken word was open to the secondary schools and poetry was open to the primary schools. We will begin with awards of participation presented to the student of the respective school. An award of participation goes to Selena Manson, Santa Flora Government Primary School. Ms. Ramdas. Ms. Ramdas, could you please remain center stage for 2 more presentations? Yet another award of participation goes to, I hope I pronounce this child's name correctly. You'll correct me when you get up here. Lael Reyes, Point Fortin RC. An award of participation goes to Cristiano Hamilton, Pinal Queenum Government Primary School. One more, Ms. Ramdas. No, next student. Congratulations. And the final award of participation for poetry, primary schools, Josiah Alsop, that is Clark Rochard Government. Thank you, Ms. Ramdas. Or you could have passed it. Now we have our 3rd place, our 2nd place, and our 1st place. I want to invite Mr. Ramjit to present to these primary schools. And in 3rd place, Ayan Danraj, Avocat Vidic. The principal, could you please join him to receive the check for your school? The young man will receive the trophy. In second place, Amaris Chance, Pinal Presbyterian, student and principal. Our student will be presented with a trophy, and the school principal, Mrs. Nanal, will be presented with the check for the school. And in first position, I Love My Country competition, Poetry Primary Schools, Tevin Modis, Guapo Government. The principal of Guapo Government, join us on stage to receive your check for your school. Santa Flora Government Primary, Point Fortin RC, Pinal Queenam Government, Clark Rochard Government, Avocat Vidic, Pinal Presbyterian, and Guapo Government. Congratulations to all of you. So we will close that segment of prize giving temporarily as we enjoy, of course, a poetry piece which will be recited none other than our first place winner, Tevin Modis, Guapo Government.
Good morning. My name is Tevin Trinidad Modis. Let me tell you why I love my sweet TNT. Red, white, and black. I'm a Trinity to the bone, and that is a fact. Let me tell you why I love my country. So, Trinidad and Tobago is the best place to go. Beautiful islands in the sun, where people of all cultures unite as one. Different races and religions we celebrate. Love, unity, togetherness, not malice and hate. Crab and dumpling, roti and chicken, pilau, kalaloo and the doubles, finger licking. All over the world, people crave sweet Julie mango, corn soup, and black cake is their fave. Tantalizing calypso music and soca in the air. When I tell you the island vibe sweet all year. Melodious steeper music makes your body groove. And the vibrant as a rhythm sure to make you move. Trinidad and Tobago, land of my birth, mighty nation, overwhelming in worth. Proud I am of my red, white, and black. Trust me, once you reach here, you will never want to go back.